One of the common symptoms is hot flashes and night sweats. And these are, the technical term is vasomotor symptoms, and they're the most commonly reported symptoms of the menopause transition. Up to 80% of women experience these symptoms at some point in their menopause transition. They're characterized by a sudden, intense sensation of heat in the upper body, particularly the chest, neck, and face. LifeSculpt by ChristiMD, the podcast where we delve into the art of living your best life. I'm your host, Dr. Christi, board-certified surgeon, wellness enthusiast, and your guide to transforming health and happiness. Here we explore cutting-edge health trends, chat with inspiring guests, and share practical tips to sculpt the life you've always dreamed of. So grab your headphones, get comfortable, and let's dive into today's episode. Today we're going to talk about making menopause great again. What are the symptoms of menopause and how can we conquer those? Now, menopause is something that most women, well, every woman, if we live long enough, will experience. In fact, did you know that of mammals, the only species that actually live through menopause are humans and some species of whales? If we are a tiger or a bear or a dog, even once we are no longer fertile, able to have children, our usefulness just drops off. But in humans, we have the age, the wisdom, the life-giving ability to continue to thrive and give love to the world and to live our very best life. And that's what I want to help you to do. So I want to talk about some of the very common symptoms of menopause that you may be experiencing, and a lot of women will feel these things and they just really don't know that it's all from menopause. And unfortunately, some doctors aren't quite up to speed, or they minimize these things. I may have even minimized it in the past. Forgive me if I did. But having gone through menopause prematurely, I might add, and seeing my patients over the years and becoming certified as a menopause certified practitioner, I can tell you that these symptoms are very real. They are not in your head and they need to be addressed. You do not need to live with them. Now, you can go through menopause naturally and not take any hormonal therapy. You can use supplements. You can try different techniques to deal with the various symptoms. Personally, I'm a big proponent for hormonal replacement therapy. It is very safe. It is very effective. It is pretty natural. If you think about it, it's just increasing a substance that's already circulating in our bloodstream, sort of like we would replace thyroid hormones, or vitamin D is a hormone. There's a lot of hormones that we don't think twice about replacing or supplementing. And I believe that estrogen and testosterone and progesterone are the same way. So that's a topic for another discussion. And you can see some of my prior podcasts to get my thoughts on that and get some more information about that. But what I want to talk about today are some of the symptoms that you will experience as you're going through menopause, or if you've already gone through it, you may be experiencing these. So the first thing that one of the things that women will notice is changes in their menstrual periods. And the periods will become very irregular. Usually periods are, strictly every 28 days or somewhere thereabout. And they'll begin to notice that the periods will spread out. They'll become less predictable, less common. Sometimes they'll just spot very lightly. Sometimes they'll be very heavy. So that is a prime symptom that your hormonal levels are becoming dysregulated, that your estrogen levels are dropping off. This goes back to the follicles in the ovaries, the eggs, that you're born with a certain number of eggs. And when those eggs turn into follicles, that's what produces the estrogen and progesterone. Once those eggs are all gone, then you have that sudden drop off in the hormones. And that's when we begin to experience these symptoms, because the hormones are very good for our body. They're very healthy for us. The other thing that, of course, is going to happen because we don't have as many eggs, they're not as healthy, is the fertility will begin to drop off. This actually accelerates after age 35. Actually, obstetricians call it a geriatric pregnancy because it's considered an older mother if you're over 35. There's more risk for complications during the pregnancy and in childbearing. So they do require special care at that age. One of the common symptoms is hot flashes and night sweats. And these are, the technical term is vasomotor symptoms, and they're the most commonly reported symptoms of the menopause transition. Up to 80% of women experience these symptoms at some point in their menopause transition. They're characterized by a sudden, intense sensation of heat in the upper body, particularly the chest, neck, and face. The face can become very red, and the heartbeat can become very rapid. And then at night, if this occurs, you can get night sweats. And then once you sweat it out, then you get chilled because your body is reacting to the sweat. So this is all disturbances in how the blood vessels are regulating your temperature control, and it's very uncomfortable. They can be mild, and some women don't have them at all. I've had many patients that don't have them at all, but they can be very severe and even debilitating, where you begin to be very self-conscious about it, anxious about it, feel very uncomfortable. You may have to stop the activity that you're doing. These can go on for a few years. They can even go on for decades. For personally, when I had them, it was a very strange sensation because it's the feeling of when you're embarrassed about something and you're blushing. That's the feeling that you get. And so it's a physical feeling, and then it would lead to that emotional sensation. Whereas normally before that, I'd feel embarrassed about something and blush, and I would get the flushing and the heart rate. But now that my body is doing that, and it gives me that uncomfortable emotional feeling of being embarrassed. So if you're experiencing those are very common, and hormones will definitely help that. There are other treatments, but if you can take hormones, that's the best treatment. That will definitely improve your hot flashes. Okay, the thing that I specifically see a lot in my office is the genitourinary syndrome of menopause. It's signs and symptoms that occur with estrogen deficiency. So it changes the lips of the vagina, the vaginal opening, the clitoris, the bladder, and the urethra. That whole area down there starts to suffer without estrogen. Some of the symptoms that you could experience are dryness, irritation, burning, sexual symptoms such as painful intercourse, and urinary symptoms. And these can be mildly annoying. They can be debilitating and all-consuming. I see those patients. That is why I am such a big advocate to treat this early. If you take hormones systemically for your whole body, it will probably help that area. But definitely, if you put some estradiol cream or do a laser treatment on the vagina, it's going to help you solve that problem. You do not need to live with that. And it actually becomes very serious as you get older. I see this every day where the vagina is dry, the pH is off kilter, and the woman starts to get a lot of bladder infections, urinary tract infections, and then sometimes they begin to go up to the kidneys and cause sepsis and hospitalization. So keeping that part of the body healthy is actually really important for your overall health, not to mention your comfort, not to mention your sexual function and your relationship with your husband, which is supremely important in your life. This can be more severe, the genitourinary syndrome of menopause, if a woman undergoes surgical menopause, such as she has a complete hysterectomy and then her estrogen just drops off just immediately. Or if she goes through cancer treatment or take the medications for breast cancer that block the estrogen, they're hormone blockers. This is very uncomfortable, very debilitating. Do not ignore it. Take it seriously. Some of the sexual symptoms that I mentioned, the most common is less vaginal lubrication and a less stretchy vagina. It can also shorten and become very tight at the opening. So this can lead to a feeling of vaginal tightness, along with pain, burning, or soreness. Inflammation and irritation can develop, leading to greater discomfort and sometimes tearing and bleeding of tissue. It can intensify to where sexual activity is no longer pleasurable or desirable, and it may not even be possible. So you want to go ahead and get on top of that, address it as soon as possible so that you don't end up in that condition. Okay, continuing on, urinary symptoms. The urinary symptoms that I see every day are a very uncomfortable sensation of burning or pain with urination, increased frequency and urgency of urination, and increased risk of urinary tract infections. Women may feel urgency with or without episodes of urinary leakage, which is also called urinary incontinence, with increased daytime frequency, or at night, getting up 2 or more times at night to go to the bathroom, which is called nocturia. So these symptoms can all go back to hormones. They're very important. Those are some of the most common symptoms, side effects of menopause. There's more. There's other changes. A lot of women will experience mild joint aches and pains due to the loss of hormones. That can be treated. Definitely weight gain or changes in weight distribution. They begin to get the spreading out in the middle of the body. The stomach begins to grow. The chest begins to grow. The shoulders get wider. The weight distribution just becomes more like an older woman with the deposits of fat in the trunk of the body. Mood disturbances are very common for women to feel not themselves, to just have lost their kind of their verve, they lost their sense of who they are. And that can be very disheartening. It can lead to depression and anxiety. Those are very common symptoms of menopause. Hormonal replacement sometimes can help that. So it's worth trying. Some websites will say, well, you can take antidepressants and anti-anxiety medications. And my thought about that is, why not just try hormones? Why not try something that's naturally already in our body rather than putting 2 more chemicals in your body? There may be women that need more. I've gone through periods where I needed to have a little bit of support in that area. Thank God I've gotten past that, but definitely try the hormones. That may be all that's going on. Memory problems, foggy thinking, brain fog, we call it. That is very common after menopause. The brain is full of estrogen receptors. And when those receptors don't get fed estrogen, they start to starve and they're not going to work right. They're just going to be slow and sluggish. They're not going to function well. I've been really focused on estrogen and progesterone in this talk. I'm also a big proponent for testosterone for women. Testosterone is actually more common more abundant in our bloodstream than estrogen. Can you believe that? It's just the ratio of what we have compared to men is 1/10. So that's why we don't look like men. But it gets very low. It starts to drop off age 30. And then by the time we're 45, it's really, really low. We feel a lot of these side effects are also coming from low testosterone. So I highly recommend looking into testosterone therapy. And what I do in my clinic is we do very precise hormone dosing with pellets, which are slow release. So you just put them in every 3 months and it will keep you nice and smooth and help you relieve so many of these symptoms. I've seen it over and over again, and I am a patient myself. So I get it, and I can attest to the power of what this can do for you. I want to make your life better. I want you to feel amazing. You have so much to give. You are designed for a greater purpose. And I don't want you to feel like just because you're getting older that you can't do all the things that you want to do that you're designed to do. So look into getting hormones. You can find a good hormone practitioner on the Menopause Society website. At the top, they have find a healthcare practitioner, enter your zip code, and you will find doctors like me in your area that have gone through the certification, that have studied menopause, that have taken a test to certify that they are knowledgeable in this area, and they've gone the extra mile because they want to help you. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for tuning into this episode of LifeSculpt by ChristiMD. I hope you found our conversation as inspiring and enlightening as I did. If you enjoyed today's episode, please be sure to subscribe, rate, and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. Your feedback helps us reach more listeners and spread the message of living a life sculpted by health and happiness. Don't forget to follow us on social media at LifeSculpt by ChristiMD for more updates, behind-the-scenes content, and to join our amazing community. And follow my personal account, Love Life Medicine, for more great health and inspirational content. Until next time, remember to prioritize your well-being and keep sculpting the life you love.